Good. Yeah, there goes the pen cap again, man. Guys, not I must say, God bless all of you. Where the hell did you go? That's okay. Wait. There you go. Get out of the way. Guys, happy Thursday. What a start, man. What a start. Oh my God. Listen, I got to start today with I got to say goodbye, and not to you guys, Meatball. No, no, no. I got to say goodbye to something that's been so dear to me for so long. This thing has kept me going, has promoted me, and helped me so many years. It's provided some great vision to look at, and it's seen a lot of things, man. Get that thought out of your head, Meatball. My little buddy, right here, my little buddy, my phone. I gotta get rid of it, man. I gotta get rid of my phone today. Little bitch don't even text anymore. It's just something attacked. I don't know if something attacked it, but it's 2017 Note 8. How the dinosaur? Oh my God, that's the problem, and that goes wholeheartedly what I'm going to talk about today. Saying goodbye is hard. Yeah. How many times have you guys said goodbye and actually said, "God, I feel great. I'm gonna go jump, and do stuff, man"? No, goodbye. Saying goodbye hurts, and I can guarantee you, the majority of us I can guarantee the majority of us associate goodbyes with pain, sadness, horror, sorrow, and grief. It's so prevalent. That's why it's so hard to say goodbye. And before I went to sleep last night, I posted a reel, and out of the quote box, not from me, but it's a powerful story. The person coming to save you is your healed self. The hardest thing for most people is saying goodbye to the older self to allow in the new self. Does that make sense? And as I had to go yesterday, jacked up my 9 hours, like I mentioned on yesterday's show, busy as hell. Blessed to have it, as I always say. I'm grateful to have that. But I still had errands to run. My daughter, "Dad, I need you up here." They go up there and take care of her. And Mom goes, "I need food." I say, which I don't mind. Believe me, I don't mind. I take my time and do what I got to do. But I had to take that dreadful path, and I say dreadful respectfully, up the Berlin Turnpike to my daughter's home, and down the Berlin Turnpike to Mom's place back in Hamden, and I have to go through all those memories of where I was back then, and believe me, I don't dwell in the past. I love it because I love history, because I've learned so much from it, and seeing so many things and saying goodbye to all these things that along that path, up and down, brought back some amazing memories. And before that, I had to speak to the mortgage guy at my bank, and she was so gracious about that. She goes, "Yeah, I got your email, and looking at where you've been to where you are now, you've come a long way, huh?" I'm like, I said, "No kidding." I was being facetious, but at the same sense, we had talked about, because at this bank, I mean, they wouldn't even, I had to keep money in my account like 12 years ago because they wouldn't let me even take money out for anything, man. I couldn't have nothing up. I was on like a blacklist of F for financially stable. And to get to the whole point of what I'm talking about here, everything that I just mentioned was the fact that I had to say goodbye to the old self. And with that reel came last night was a great song by the Black Crowes that I listened to for many moons, and it just popped in my head. And it says, "You're seeing things for the first time." Indeed, when you realize that it's time to change, that's when it's time to change. That's when you, how should we say, as investigators do, put up the yellow tape, close off the crime scene, and start walking backwards to find out what caused the crime. When you put up that yellow tape of yourself about where you are right now, saying, "This is it, I'm done, I can't do this anymore," and you start walking backwards, you'll find out the reason why you haven't changed is because you don't want to say goodbye to the old self. It's a hard thing to come to terms with. I mean, how many times have you said goodbye and how painful it has been? I mean, change is hard, but not changing is harder, because you got to keep reliving those emotions that you've lived in every single day. And you can clarify yourself as one of these two words. And this is what I had to make up my mind as they were towing my car away many moons ago for like a third repo because I couldn't pay it, and I kept getting myself into these problems, man. I didn't realize what was going on. I thought life was a problem. No. It was that mirror in that 12 by 12 that was broken on the edge, man, that I kept looking at every single day. I was the problem. I was the source. I was the reason why so many things were happening. So many people don't want to take responsibility for that. I get it. I was raped. I was this. Dude, I get it. I've been there. I've done that. Yes, indeed. Everything has happened to me. But in essence, it happened for me. And when you start changing your perspective about what has happened to you from trauma to a lesson is when you put up the yellow tape, start walking backwards in your life and realizing there's a way out. There's a way out for you to come out of this abyss of where you've been in thought and failing, because when you realize that's creating your reality as we speak. So think about these two words, guys. This is how I felt for decades. Powerless, devoid of strength or resources. Yeah, I had the great facade. Kind of sound familiar, huh? I had the great facade on the outside. Jerry's successful. No, but on the inside, I felt so powerless. I felt so fearful. I felt so living in the past that every single day I just kept recreating it. And it's like, Jerry's such a good person. Why do these things keep happening to them? That's when I put up the yellow tape. That's why I show in my little reels the guy thinking or typing or writing. That's when you find out, when you get back to the source. When you put up the yellow tape, close off the scene and start walking backwards in your life and realizing what has happened to you to cause what is happening now. It's a great analogy of self, and I say it just a lot on America's Mentor. The next word, you go from powerless, helpless, and weak. I'm not saying as a whole, guys. This is what I was. As far as mentally speaking wise. And it wasn't until I changed it to powerful that everything changed. You can do all the physicality you want. You can struggle and work your ass off all you want, but you're going to keep recreating what has happened to you in the past until you put up the yellow tape, investigate what has happened to you, clarify it, say goodbye to it, and start anew. Like I had the little eulogy in the morning for my little phone, guys. But think about it. Think about it. This was the only way. This is my perspective. This is what I did and still are doing to this day. Because we are always a work in progress. But don't get yourself down because of it. We're all perfect. We're all perfect in our own little ways. And this is what you have to realize for yourself. Indeed, we all have a past, but you don't have to live by it. You can learn from it. I have to face it every single time I go see my girls up north, and I got to travel that route. And I was like, wow, I used to walk that. Wow, that guy threw a bottle at me. But I take it in perspective as a learning experience. I take it to realize that I created a new realm of thinking, a new kingdom. And when you realize the person coming to save you is your healed self, it gets exciting, because that's when you start thinking about, wow, life can be a lot better for me. And I can start realizing where I want to go. And not something above in this omnipotent power that's going to save me, or this person's going to help me, or this. No, it all boils down to you. Yeah, somebody can throw food at you for a day. You can feed a guy food for a day and he'll eat, but you teach him how to get his food. He's going to learn and keep doing it. You have to realize, to create a new life, you have to create a new thought of self, a new perspective of self, a new person to believe in. This is the hardest thing for people to realize. They think that something or someone is going to come save them, a new love, or God, or this. No, it all boils down to you. We have the power. The problem is we feel powerless because too many goodbyes in our life, and we're afraid to open up to experience the new realm of love or success or things in life. I'm guilty of it. I'm really guilty of it, man. But I admit it. I love it. But I put up the yellow tape. I started doing my investigating of self, which few people do, and I forgot which philosopher said the hardest thing for people to do is think. In friggin' deed. I'm grateful to have these triggers that I get to experience, because it helps me think back of where I was. And when you start realizing where you were, you'll start realizing where you are now. That's the biggest epiphany you can ever have. When you realize where you are, you could change that just by thinking differently. Just by feeling differently. And from that thinking and feeling, you'll start acting differently and creating new habits and new thoughts and new dreams and new desires about yourself. Because yes, it's hard to say goodbye. Indeed. And I remember laying on my floor Christmas Eve 2019, because my dog, I just had to put her down. It was the loneliest Christmas I've ever felt in my life. I actually slept in her little bed, man. It's hard to say goodbye. It's hard to start anew. It's hard to begin that new stuff. But when you realize you're powerful and you're not powerless, the only power you have is the one you exhibit every single day. When you enhance that with new thoughts and new feelings about yourself, about your life, life can only respond, man. You're not losing at this game of life. It's you who think you lose in life. It's you who believe you can't have the love of your life. It's you who think you can't have the success of your life. When you get to that point, you'll stop making excuses like I did with my phone since 2017. I gotta get a new one. Finally, you guys have been seeing the Facebook Lives on an old dinosaur. I can't imagine what I'm gonna pick up and what you guys are gonna see. All the little details on Jerry now because it'll be a better camera. But guys, think about it. Think about it, man. This is what I had to do to myself every day. I had to put up that yellow tape every day, go into my journal, how I did it, mind you, and look back at where I was, saying, wait a minute, this is not me. I'm better than this, man. The person coming to save you is you. You and you alone can save yourself. But it's your choice. Because when you decide saying, look, I'm sick and tired of being where I am right now, you'll start thinking differently, therefore feeling differently, therefore acting differently. And the universe can only say, here you go, Meatball, this is all for you. So Meatball, it's up to you. Completely and utterly up to you. Now I'm going to have some more coffee. I'm going to work, man. Guys, America, I got to go to work. America's Mentor _radio. At America's Mentor on Twitter, guys. At America's Mentor on YouTube. Thanks for the thousands of views. I forgot to post Monday night show from the West Coast. So I'm going to have the couple 3 days now. Hopefully they'll have my phone in stock. I can get it today and start playing with that little bitch and program it. And I got to take out all the pictures on my phone, man. That good. Imagine if they ever saw, like, remember the old photomats? They would see the pictures of the... I got to get rid of all that stuff from years ago, and hopefully I can explain that. But guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Guys, enjoy your Thursday. Remember, it all starts with you. This is the easiest thing about life, when you get to the point that nothing can save you except yourself. Remember that, guys. Happy Thursday. I'll see you guys soon, man.